How to water your lawn like a pro. In this video we're talking about the types of sprinklers, a test on your water pressure, and how you can know exactly how much water you need to put down on your lawn. After one of the driest Mays on record, these are some of the things that I've been doing to keep my lawn looking fresh and green like this. I've got loads of detail about which type of sprinkler you should pick depending on the shape of your lawn, how to get the best coverage, and things to look out for to get the best results. To celebrate our first 1,000 subscribers, I've also got a really special announcement to make during the video where I'm going to be taking on a new project that absolutely anybody doing lawn renovations or lawn care needs to see. Typically there's going to be four main types of sprinkler. You're going to have your professionally installed sprinkler system like this, an impact or 360-degree sprinkler similar to something like this, a rotating sprinkler on a sled like this, and lastly a oscillating sprinkler like this. In almost all cases, a professionally installed sprinkler system is going to give really good results and it's going to help automate your watering cycle. However, it is going to come at a cost. So here's how to pick the best sprinkler for your garden shape. If you've got a circular lawn, you're probably going to be looking at one of the two rotating types of sprinklers. These are going to be really portable, easy to use, and if you haven't got a circular shape, say a pie shape or a wedge shape, these are also really good sprinklers to consider because you can adjust the amount of radius that those sprinklers cover. For square and rectangular gardens, the oscillator sprinkler is going to be best. This will spray water in a rectangular shape of pattern, and again you can control how much of the water you want using the adjustment clips. The lawn at the back is a rectangle shape, which means I've got an oscillating type of sprinkler. I've just purchased one, and if you're looking at purchasing a sprinkler, there are some links in the description below. It's affiliate link, so if you click on it, it really helps me support the stream, but it doesn't cost you anything else in product costs. Typically, I need to run 2 cycles on the back lawn, one with the sprinkler placed roughly towards the front of the lawn in the centre. Widthways, this is perfect for me. On the maximum adjustment, I'm getting around 11 metres either side, which covers my lawn. If your lawn is smaller than that, you can adjust it using the clips on the side, which will basically stop the water from a left to right motion and give you a narrower range. This will also reduce your watering time if you've got a smaller garden because more water will fall in a smaller range. The day after I make a video on sprinklers, it's starting to rain. For the front lawn, I'm using an impact type of sprinkler. This allows me to control the range from left to right, and I found that it covers this much smaller area a little bit better, and it also allows me to leave the sprinkler in situ and just turn it on and off when I need to, as opposed to storing the hose or moving the sled around. As it's just rained, I'm not going to turn this sprinkler on. I do love you guys, but I'm not crazy enough to turn the sprinkler on while it's raining. How this sprinkler works is it sends the water out the front, and as it sends it out, it hits the guard on the front of the sprinkler, which diffuses the water across the lawn. There's an adjustment on the right hand side where you can control the range and the diffusion, and you can also set it to do a full 360 or cover a pie shape region. The next thing to consider whilst watering is how many products do you need and what type of range should you be looking at. I've set up a perfect experiment so I can see how different factors will affect the overall coverage you can get from your sprinkler system. I've heard a lot about, does the length of hose that you supply the sprinkler with affect the overall coverage that you get, so I'm going to do a test between a 25 metre hose with a 15 metre extension and just the 15 metre hose directly in to see if it affects the amount of water we get. I've set the oscillating sprinkler at the back of the lawn and 2 boards roughly where I expect the water to fall. The first test is 5 minutes of watering with both hoses connected together, so this is the 25 metre plus a 15 metre length. I'm going to record how much water we're going to capture, and then I'm going to do the same experiment with the shorter hose to see if it really affects the range of water we get. If you found any of this useful or have any questions, please leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel. We're really growing quickly. I've just hit 1,000 subscribers and I really appreciate all the support. Stay with me, I've also got a special announcement coming up about a lawn care renovation project. So 5 minutes watering done, with the maximum hoses connected together. Let's check the cup to see the results. So a bit surprising, there's absolutely no water left in the cup. The front of the board is wet, so the water was probably just about hitting the front of that board, but there's no water in the cup with the maximum hose length. So I've set up experiment 2, which is only using the 15 metre hose, which obviously the water will travel a lesser distance down the hose. The ball's in the same position. The wind conditions are roughly the same. It's fairly flat today, so I don't expect that to alter too much of the test, but let's see what the results look like. So this is the bowl after 5 minutes of watering. Here I can see the backboard is actually wet and the grass behind it is wet as well. And you can see there is a level of water collected in the container. So there's two things you can take away from this really, is use the shortest hose possible to get the distance that you want. But in reality, it probably made about a metre or so's difference in the overall watering length. So if you've got a really big garden to water, maybe that's not the deal for you. If you've got a smaller garden to water, that metre or so can really make a difference to get really good coverage on your lawn. The other key factor that affects coverage is the types of fitting you use. Do not use leaky fittings, they really will impact the length of coverage. I always use hose lock fittings, I found them to be really good quality, and I'm going to bring out a quick tip video on different types of hose lock fittings you might consider, but the fittings I'm using are also in the description below. You do have a leaky fitting, get it replaced. You're going to be wasting water and not maximising your sprinkler usage. Most of the time, the lawn's going to tell you when it needs watering. You can see by the colour if it starts to lose its green or turns brown or orange or feels dry. The other way you can tell is if the footprints stay in the grass like this, generally your lawn's going to need some water. Most expert advice is water infrequently, maybe once or twice a week, and deep. This helps the roots search for water and encourage them to be thick and healthy, whereas if you water shallow and infrequently, you can get a shallower root system, which also becomes more prone to drought. To work out how often to water and how long to use your watering system for, you can use a similar tip to what I've just set up there. Place a plastic container, drop it in the range of your sprinkler, and look to measure around ½ an inch to an inch of water. For sandier soils, you're going to be looking at the top side of this, and for clay soils, you might need a little bit less water, between the ½ inch range. If you haven't got time to work all that out, go for the safer option and go for an inch, especially in this type of hot weather. This also includes the natural rainfall that you might fall, so if you are getting a level of natural rainfall, you won't need to water your lawn, but if you're not getting that required ½ inch to an inch, you are going to need to supplement nature with the watering system like I've just shown you. Okay, so special announcement. Most of my videos I'm filming on the back lawn, but I've actually neglected the front lawn a little bit and it's looking really out of shape. There's lots of weed grasses in there, the turf's really thin and it really needs a full overhaul. I've been having a look on the market and some of the seed that I keep getting recommended is from A1 Lawns, the professional mix. So I'm just ordered some lawn seed from those guys and I'm going to be putting it down and do a full lawn renovation video. So if that's something that you're interested in, right the way from scratch as you can see it from now, following that process through seeding, top dressing, leveling, and if that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel, follow the journey and leave a comment below. I've linked some of my other videos that you might find interesting. Thanks again for all your support. If you do have a spare second or two, subscribe to the channel and stay up to date with all my latest videos. leave a comment below and give the video a thumbs up. One last thing before I go, please subscribe to the channel. I've got lots of great content coming up, and in the next episode I'm going to be looking at the slow release fertilizer, another organic fertilizer that works really well with your lawn.